and some, ah! Come back, food dye. My hands are too buttery. What's a fun and citrusy summer treat I can slice up and bake? Betty Crocker's answer, fruit slice cookies. I'm Melinda and I'm cooking my way through Betty Crocker's 1971 recipe card library. Today we're making fruit slice cookies, which is from section P, crowd size entertaining, card number 17. I'm excited to make these cookies today. I've made other sliced cookies before. You know, this is a pretty common thing now. You can buy, like, even from the grocery store, pre-made kind of log of cookie dough that you slice and bake. And what's cool about these cookies is that we're gonna make 3 different types of citrus cookies: lemon, lime, and orange. The way that you roll the log and then slice them makes them look like a true slice of a citrus fruit. So I think it's gonna be really fun and really cute. And they all use real citrus zest in the cookie dough. So I think it's also gonna have hopefully some nice nuanced citrus flavor in addition to the like typical sugar cookie flavor profile. I think it's gonna be really fun, really cute. Let's give them a try. Okay, to make our fruit slice cookies, we're gonna start by mixing thoroughly the butter, granulated sugar, eggs, and vanilla. So I have here a cup of granulated sugar. I'm gonna add a cup of softened butter. It's perhaps a bit too soft. Maybe not soft enough. Time will tell. I'm gonna add in our vanilla and our 2 eggs. Should I have used a bigger bowl? Probably. I never remember to soften the butter in advance, so I do this trick where you put it in the microwave and it always makes it so that the exterior of the butter is soft, but the interior is not soft enough yet. Okay, I think it's mixed thoroughly enough. The butter is in smaller chunks. So I'm gonna go ahead and add our salt to our flour, and then we're gonna add our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients. It says blend, but I'm just gonna stir, I guess, until the dough starts to form. I feel like you get to a certain point and you just gotta get in there with your hands, right? Keep finding big patches of butter. Big patches of butter. Maybe that'll be good for the cookies, right? See, there's one. Got you. I got you. Now we have to divide it into 4 parts to create the different flavors of citrus. Okay, I put gloves on because we're gonna be like hand mixing the food coloring in, and I didn't want to dye my hands. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get the cookie dough out onto this piece of plastic wrap so I could try to divide it evenly in 4. Did I mention this recipe makes 10 dozen cookies? Which I don't really need 10 dozen. And looking at this big thing of cookie dough, I'm just trying to understand the severity of what 10 dozen means. I forgot it was from crowd size entertaining. We're making a crowd's worth of cookies. We're gonna divide it in half. Okay, then we're gonna divide that in half. Ta-da! To 1 part, add a few drops of yellow food color and lemon peel. To 1 part, add a few drops green food color and lime peel. She really spells it out for you. Work in color and peel with hands. Leave remaining part of dough plain. Okay, so we're gonna take 1/4 of this. I think we'll work it all in at the same time. So I'm gonna put my lemon peel in the center here. Then I'm gonna add a few drops of of yellow food coloring. And if we have to add more food coloring, we can, but. And I'm just gonna start to massage this and try to work it through. I'm getting a lot of lemon aroma right now. I was worried that we were just using the peel and not any sort of extract, like how citrusy would these cookies really be? But I think it might be pretty citrusy. Okay, I'm not really seeing the peel anymore in the mix, but I am seeing really like patchy cookie or food coloring. I can't remember, I've used this food coloring a couple times now, but I can't remember if the food coloring gets darker when it's cooked or if it becomes lighter. Because I want these to have kind of a pastel-y vibe. You don't want them to be too like intensely colored. It's also hard to tell because this dough is already kind of yellow, if I've made it yellow enough. I think I have. Okay, let's do it again. Now we're gonna do green. I'm gonna put my lime zest in. I feel like the green's gonna be more potent, so I don't wanna put too much in to start. Don't touch your neighbor. Everyone, maintain distance. There's a lot of parts of this recipe that rely on refrigeration, and I'm starting to understand why. The dough is really pliable with the softened butter, and we want that butter to get much firmer before we bake these. So I'm eager to get these in the fridge because they're just really soft. The dough is really soft right now. I feel like the egg yolks from these eggs were very orange, and so the dough itself is already quite tinted. So it's hard to get like a clean green color when the dough is starting kind of yellow. And that means the white layer that's supposed to be like the pith might be a little cream colored, but that's okay. I don't know if that's lime colored or not. Last one, we'll do this one, and we're gonna add the orange zest and some orange food coloring. And we mix, 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 mix. Whoa, orange zest is flying this time. It smells so good. Really, the citrus is coming through. All right, I have my 3 colored doughs here and my white dough. I'm gonna wrap each of them individually with plastic wrap and put them in the fridge to chill for about an hour, and then we'll assemble the citrus logs. Let's do that. Okay, our dough's been chilling for an hour. I truly thought it wouldn't be so pliable still. I thought it would be much firmer, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. Maybe it'll be fine. Hopefully, I hope. We're gonna start by, it doesn't say to use any flour here, but I do need to divide the plain dough into 3 parts and roll each part into a rectangle 6 by 4 inches. And I just feel like I'll feel more comfortable doing that if it's on like a very lightly floured board, just so I know it's not gonna stick to anything. I'm gonna try to get it kind of rectangular, and then we'll divide it in thirds. I wanna have these all rolled out and prepped so that when we do the next step, they're ready to go. So very lightly flour my rolling pin, and we're looking for a 6 by 4 rectangle. Why don't we go ahead and work on our first color? So it says to shape each colored dough into a roll 2 inches in diameter and 4 inches long. So we're gonna take our yellow, and I'm just gonna shape it into a roll, 2 by 4, just supposed to fit onto here. Wrap 1 rectangle around each roll of colored dough, press firmly together. My hope is that despite how bizarre this will look, you won't notice once the slices are made. Now, I'm gonna take this plate and cover it in yellow sprinkles. And the idea is roll in matching colored sugar. Oh, this isn't going well. Need a bigger plate? It is what it is. So, I guess I'm gonna wrap this in plastic wrap and put it back in the fridge, and then we'll repeat the process for the other ones. Hopefully it goes a little bit smoother. Well, that was weird and bad. Let's try this again. I'm rolling it into a cylinder, and then I'm placing it on the white. I'm gonna try to use my little scrapey to wrap it. I think I just need to go wider instead of too long. I'm going too long and not wide enough. Because once again, it doesn't go all the way around. But I have this like extra stuff on the edges. Is the white pith really that important? Do we have to do this part? I don't know if the flour is gonna ruin it or help it or what, but desperate times call for desperate measures. And again, I'm really hopeful you don't even notice this when the cookies are sliced, but who's to say? I don't think all this extra flour was such a good idea. Those yellow sprinkles basically weren't yellow at all. These orange ones are so vibrantly orange. I'm hopeful that that kind of hides all my mistakes. See how it's just not sticking. The dough is both too sticky and not sticky enough. See, I think you want like a nice even coating of orange sprinkles, but I'm seeing so much white underneath. These have to get so much colder before we could slice them. Like this is not a joke. If these don't get better, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I did wrong. Why is the dough so sticky? Last attempt, we're gonna go wide. That's what we learned. We're gonna go wider than we think we need to and less long. Stop it. I have faith in the lime. Lime, please. Please, lime. Still not long enough. And then this is the problem, is like because it's not long enough, I try to fix it, and then that's where you start to, like, that's where things fall apart. This part's still bad. Still stupid. All right. We're supposed to keep these in the fridge for 6 hours, and then they'll be hard enough that we could slice them. So wish us luck. Wish us luck. I don't know. All right, our cookies have been chilling for a long time. They feel completely rock solid, which I think is what we want. I'm gonna start with the lemon ones. We're gonna slice it up, see what happens. I have a sharp knife. We're gonna hope for the best. It really doesn't say to like let it just like thaw at all. I think you want it to be as cold as possible. Okay. And they said 1/8 of an inch, which is pretty thin. This is supposed to be a whole round of lemon that I slice in half, please. I think they got too long. I think they got too long is what happened. And then I'm supposed to slice that in half. I guess when they're cut in half, they still look kind of like a half circle. I was looking up the history of these kind of slice and bake cookies, and they used to be called icebox cookies because they kind of were invented around the time that refrigerators came into popularity, because you could kind of have just a roll of cookies in the fridge and slice them whenever you wanted to bake a few off. So I don't think they're supposed to be this small, but also if it's for crowd size entertaining, maybe it's okay that they're small because they're supposed to be just little bites that people have at a party or something. The log was supposed to be 2 inches wide and it's definitely more like 1.5 inches and it's oblong. Oopsie. I'm gonna pivot and start doing some orange and some lime just because I want to make sure I have a variety here. I will say, like, all things considered, I do see the like pith white part for the most part on all of these. Sometimes the yellow you can just see kind of peeking out. We'll see what happens once they bake, but I just don't know how this happened. The dough, I know what happened. I think that my butter wasn't soft enough and it just became a weird consistency. Dough. Well, this first tray is gonna be a test batch. We don't know what's gonna happen in there, but I do know I'm gonna put it in the 400-degree oven for 6 to 8 minutes and then immediately remove from baking sheet. So I'm gonna do that, and then while they're in the oven, I'll keep slicing. All right, our fruit slice cookies are out of the oven. They turned out really cute. They're so small. Like, I don't know, sometimes really small cookies confuse me. It's just like not enough for a serving of cookie. Like spritz cookies feel too small to me. And like maybe this is because I rolled out the cylinder too thin, or because the dough was a little bit looser than I think it should have been. It like naturally settled and got thinner as I was rolling it. So that's a little disappointing, but they're still really cute. And if you're like kind of having a barbecue this summer or something and just want like little cookies people can nibble on, it's like less of a commitment of a cookie. I think it's cute. So let's go ahead and give them a taste. It smells great. It smells very citrusy in here. So I'm gonna start, I guess, with lemon. They held their shape okay. The sugar didn't fully melt like I thought it would, but it did stay kind of intact on the edge of the cookie. You can see the white rind is kind of lifting off in some areas, but they look cuter than I thought they would. I can definitely taste the lemon. The question is, will lime and orange be distinctly different? I can feel the lime. And finally, orange. The orange is the most subtle, but yeah, I'm tasting it. Wow, they're really good. They're really cute. They're just the right amount of sweet, not too sugary, like kind of crispy, crunchy, but still a little bit soft in the center. And like very distinct citrus flavors. Perfect. Oh, love it. Okay, fruit slice cookies. These were really cute and really tasty. I would say the only downside is that they were kind of hard to assemble and the end results are a little funky. Like they aren't all exactly perfect semicircles. You know, I feel like that was just like working with the dough. I feel like you really have to get it to a specific temperature at specific times so that it's the right amount of pliable but not too pliable, and then the right amount of like hardness so that you could slice it. So that made it pretty complicated, but I feel like besides that element, they turned out really great. So they're tasty, they're, you know, a little misshapen, a little quirky, but you still get the gist that they're supposed to be slices of fruit. So I think I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 red spoons. Okay, back in the box. Thank you so much for watching. For another cute little cookie, check out cream wafers next. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and until next time, happy homemaking.